from the sands of a timeless time, a spaceless space, where within us all is a seed we share. It carries no human words or definition to suit its infinite immortality. Rather, it is a combination of frequency, color, light, vibration, and perhaps the elements we are familiar with: fire, water, earth, air, and even some we as humans have yet to realize. To discover, uncover, and recover, as far back as the histories we've been privy to will allow. Humanity has struggled to defend, define, understand, and even own the power, source energy that comprises us all, outside the bounds of religion and the scientific. But there is a place somewhere all our efforts meet, both right under our figurative noses and beyond a limited finite human mind. But still the words speak, I am soul, and not a person on the face of the earth has lived without contemplating and speaking to this power, because that is exactly what it is: power. So what exists in this contemporary age that differs from any other? And what can be said any differently of our time? But the fact remains that we are living in a unique era, a time when energies are becoming more and more evident as they integrate onto and into Mother Earth, and it is here we walk the hallowed ground as one, a place where we are the prophecy. And as we create the only manifest destiny, which is true, creations, creating, expanding, reaching beyond the stars we hail from, writing the scriptures for the next generations, forging the imagination of the one Mother Father to new horizons, the apex of a universe's first breath, until the cosmic children we bear begin anew. It would be difficult to convey a message of any specificity without explaining the divine episodes I've been blessed to experience, although I am hesitant because of any difference the reader may find between them and I. However, I will preclude any further discussion by this. There is one higher power. We are all part of its composition. There is a perfect order to the universe, yin-yang, cause-effect, golden rule. And we are equal, albeit unique souls. I am no different than anyone else. I am no different than any essence I have ever encountered, be it what we may call light or dark, worldly or otherworldly. The fact remains one is one, and there is no difference in soul. Regardless the conditioning this world we all had a hand in designing may have set upon us, we have been free to realize our divinity in a time, developing a sharper and sharper contrast between conceivable, inconceivable, the truth we've come to find as lies, and the lies we've come to know as truth. Without a doubt, what has been the most hidden aspect of our history, whether purposely done so by a dark energy or not, is the indomitable, eternal spirit and power we not only contain, but that we truly are. I am soul.
Unasai, Irihanina, Irikanina, Erikande, Janas, Yalhamnene, there is Hunyana, Dalhamnedi, Darshamdina, Alhamdi, deli sunyan anam, deli jam deli te sunyan haljan, te jam ete sunyan daljan, desi sunyan daljan anam. Deli jam deli kandeli, deli sam deli te sunyandan, aljan deli te sunyan, aljan ete sunyan, aljan es, deli sunyan anam, deli te sarjan, deli cindan, aljan yandan, daljan deli jandan, deli san, aljan etu, dalhan, yethan, deli sunyan anam, deli kandinan, Alcandete candante, alcandete candantele, sandere candele, andele, jandele, sujana nantele, jan e sujana nantele, dere candele jana, dere canana, el sujana, alcandele, el sujana, alcandele andele ce tufiana, ashan, yeshana, lesoina, nantela, yer canela, yarhan, deshana, nantele, tushana, nantele, shana, darshanan andete, tushan, alchan, ete, tushan, nante, yale candele, Yere sushanan, jalshanan, jalshanan, grandianas, wasayanas, ramyanas, eyani, jalshanan, jalsuyanan, jalshanneha, jalshanena, aljande, jalsunana, nandele, jandele, desu, jande, arjanete, jere sunana, nandele, jan, eresan, elsaljan, arjanenan, aljanenet, Sushana nantele jante, sushana, aljan eja, hushana nantele jante, aljan eja, huiha, dele sushana, aljanhe, dele hushana, el janelehe, yal janinan, yere kandele jan sushan ante, yalhe etu, yal jandele tushan ante, dele sushana, dar sushana, arjandi, dele sushana nantele jantele te sushana, arjandele jinna, aljana, del tamdena, arjandena, arjandehe, del sunjanana, daljandehe, arjandehe, yarjandere, jandalje man, delehena, deresanena, delesuhena, delehanena, deresunna, arjandele te sunnandan, derekandele te sangandan.
Do not pay any mind to those annoyed, those who choose to employ negativity at the sight of your joy. Break through the guilt and shame that was the poster child of yesterday. You've come as the dawn of a new way, here to present the instructions as you unfold beyond the suppressive overlay. Let not the limitations of past generations stop you from showing up in grace. In your truth there is no other way than to
Good morning. This morning I'm going to speak to you about truth and living one's truth. Because with all these energies now being released, we are being brought back to the deepest truth within. Not only living our truth, but also speaking our truth and standing in our truth, which is what a true master does. You know, we have in past lives so often been persecuted for standing in our truth and also for speaking our truth. And all these things are coming up now as a white flame has been released, but also as the throat chakra is being highlighted. And in the Archangel Michael is in charge of the throat chakra. And what is more important now is that a lot of times we have to understand that the throat chakra is now connected to the heart and the higher heart and also the higher throat, which works with the altar major, which is a chakra which is just here behind in the cranium area of your neck. Now these all work together as one power center with the third eye and crown, but also with your solar plexus and the navel chakra, which sits just right underneath your belly button. The center is all awakened now with your sacral center and the upper chakras, which are outside your head. But with this, as the communication centers open, as the transmitting centers open, which are the higher transmitters which come through, and your spine, this is all activating the throat in a higher degree, the higher throat center. There is such an amazing time now where we are asked to go deeply into what truth really is and what our truth is, not what other people's truth is, not what anybody else is broadcasting, even me, but to go deeply in your heart and say, is this the path of truth for me? Am I living in my truth? Am I speaking my truth? Am I transmitting the truth? Now, this is something which often comes up. And this morning, this came up with me in a greater degree. I have been invited to something, and I have been there in the past. But in the meantime, in these last few years, I've shifted immensely. I'm not the same person I was a few years ago. And as this call is persistent for me to react, and my true gut feeling was always saying, no, I have transcended this. It's not my path anymore, because I'm on a different path now. Yet all paths in the end come to one path. But at this moment in my journey, that is not my path anymore. But as it happens, you will always have this tinge of, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Am I being correct in this? The only way to discern that is to go deeply into your heart center and feel into your heart center. Your heart center is there connected to the solar plexus. And that's your gut feeling. With the navel chakra, your gut feeling, is this right or not? In your heart of hearts, you will always know the truth, and you will recognize the truth. And sometimes if I'm still not quite sure if that is the truth, then I will call in my higher guidance and I'll say, just give me a sign, or just give me clarity about it. And it immediately came and said, but listen to your heart, listen to your gut feeling, listen to what is there within you, and then state that truth. And it really brought me back to the living of the truth. As we now, as the timelines now have split, and as we now in a completely different timeline, because this has happened now in the last few weeks, we're just not the same person as we were before. We're living now in a higher vibrational frequency. So what we were even 2 years ago is not applicable to what is now. Many people will leave our lives simply because we are out of tune with them. We're not in tune with them anymore. There's nothing wrong with it. It just means that they are following their own inner drum and you are following your own inner drum. Souls never get lost along the way. They just choose different pathways. Some will choose to go into the new earth, and some will just choose to sort of meander along, and eventually they'll get there. It doesn't matter. But if you feel in your deepest feeling, this is not for me anymore. I cannot be that which I was even 2 years ago. I have shifted so much. Then speak it. Live it, be it. Because then, when you are living in your truth, you are speaking your truth. You are authentic, you are real. And people will always respect you for that. They might differ from you. They might sort of not like it if you stand in your truth. But one thing they will do is respect you in the end. Because they know that you walk in your path with truth and in truth and with integrity. The white flame is a flame of truth. It is a flame of purity, but it's also the flame of joy, and it's the flame of the pure power of love. Because love does see clearly, yet chooses to love anyway. That's my message for you today. And as much as the beauty of this whole thing brings in, it means that we finally take our power back. We take the power of our own truth back. We take the power of our own soul back to live our highest truth as a master on earth. And that is what Archangel Michael is trying to get across to us. Live your truth. Speak your truth. Be the truth of your soul. It's nobody else's business what you do. It is what you do within yourself and how you live the life and what you bring out into the world that matters the most. To be authentic and true and truthful, walking your talk is the greatest gift that you can bring into the new earth as we co-create the new golden age together. And when everyone starts speaking the truth and being authentic and real, nobody needs to hide anymore. Nobody needs to lie anymore. And then we can create the unity, the harmony, because we give everybody the right to stand fully in their own light and in their own truth. And in the end, everything comes together as one. May you have a beautiful, powerful, and truthful, loving day.
Todd Medina, Soulogy One Studios. What's going on here? Democracies, aristocracies, oligarchies, monarchies, hierarchies, presidents and popes. What's the real dope? What's this all about? Faith, hope, doubt? That's all that earth stuff, man. I am a multi-dimensional, high-vibrational, evolutionary being, and I'm tired of hiding it. I am soul. I don't care who or what tried or is trying to deceive us. Call it the devil or another's Messiah, prophet, or God. It's all the same to me. Whoever they are, they can never take our souls, and that's when we came here to learn. From the burn of being wrong, denying who we are, taking orders, lawless laws, a branded existence, but not anymore. I am divinity. Yeah. Alright. The power we hold to mold the future, heavenly nirvana. From the inside, present, eternal. It's time to be a bolder flame. The game isn't the same. We are the spirit science synthesis, the action of conscious thought, alignment, transmuting to a living wisdom. Yeah. No longer dreaming the life, I am living the dream.
If you have been experiencing lately a feeling as if you are losing your connection to spirit, as if it suddenly perhaps feels less sacred, you are feeling less of a high when you are connecting to higher realms, when you meditate, and you are afraid, you are frustrated that you are losing the connection to spirit, consider this, that the quality of your connection to spirit is simply different. It transformed. Why? Because of your process of embodiment. Those of us who naturally have a more open connection upwards, and we feel better in higher realms, so this has always been our home, our escape. We were naturally disconnected from the body because the physical reality didn't feel safe, didn't feel sacred enough. And now, as we are dropping more and more into the body, we are embracing physical reality because we know this is the only way to share our gifts with the world. The quality of our connection to spirit is different. It doesn't feel anymore like such a high. It's more straightforward, more direct, more embodied, more grounded. So this is what might be happening with you, and just explore how this connection feels now.
Whoops. What's going on, everybody? I meant to put another video on. So, yeah, I'm just trying to kick it up for this weekend. We're getting into December. Seems like since it's summer, it's just been like a whirlwind. I feel like we're like going into hibernation or incubation or something, and we're going to be coming out beginning this month very slowly. But I think it sure feels good where we're at and where we're headed. And 2023 looks very, very promising to me. What's going on? Hey, if you guys want to have a little open mic activity, we can do that. I actually meant to put on another video, but let me put on a short video and I'll put up the link. Let's see, hang on a second. Let me do this. Text and open mic. There we go. Although you can't see it. Change the color. There we go. Okay, so let's do an open mic. I will put the link on my page on Facebook and on the YouTube chat. Let me put up a video real quick. See what we got here. Something fun, maybe. Let's see here. Let's do a little bit of US. Here we go.
Abracadabra, lather terabytes with this magic via satellite. They just dropped off a couple Tesla trucks. This nigga must tryna up with us. Yeah, you getting big-headed, you finally made it. Nah, it's been like that, skulls elongated. Return the jewels to the owners, they didn't excavate it. I rode a lion to the main stage, barefooted at Dear I-10-R-A. Chilling in the lotus under sun rays. Be advised, you can't monopolize the Leo rising. Try to activate my cobbles, but they lopsided.
Shanata he, Isanata, Mosana, Ishanata he, Ishanata, Isana, Emotahi, Akanata he, Osana, Osanata here, yeah, yes you are, yes you are, yes you are. Nasanita.
Okay, so anybody wants to come in? Let's have a little open mic. I put up the links. Let me put it up again. Let's see. There we go. open mic. Calling all brothers and sisters for an open mic. Yeah, let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about December. Anybody wants to come in, just click the link. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. In the meantime, let's put on something else. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like coming out of October, November, I feel like we have like a big energetic hangover that's just starting to wear off. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts and your comments, or if you want to come into the studio. In the meantime, I'll play some more clips. Here we go.
Let me tell you one thing. Me getting some downloads from this raw vegan fast. You see me there? Huh? I feel so strong in my body, strong in my mind, strong everywhere. Yeah, that plays too, sweetheart. Yes. So you know what I know? You grab your water, grab your soursop, and get you some, what is that stuff? Some ginger tea, and also some Cersei tea, and come on this vegan raw train, okay? Because let me tell you one thing. In order to fight the demons out here, you can't eat Twinkies and donuts every day. Cha, baby. Nah, you better...
I love her, Yvette Goulet. So I was playing some music behind that Judith Kuzul. This is just a like 42-minute clip of thousands of hours that Ty Hudnall has created. This one is a deep gong. I'm just going to keep playing that for a minute and just see where it takes us. Probably shouldn't put it on for too long, because I believe this is deep brain waves and it'll send you into delta. But we got a whole catalog of his stuff here, so I'm just going to keep playing it more and more, and we're going to be playing some extended things at night. Here's another clip. Okay, let's see. Boom. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, good.
Irina. Irina, right?
Yeah.
Irina Itada.
Yeah.
I've seen you out there for a long time. I know we've traded messages. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Where do you live? What?
I'm in the south of France at the moment.
Oh, the
I
south
just
of
moved
France. I hear
2 months ago.
I hear that's a real rough area down there.
Well, I have to say, well, my experience is completely the opposite.
No, I know.
It's amazing. I mean,
Yeah, I was kidding. I was being sarcastic.
okay.
No, I've heard that the south of France is just like really ritzy and really beautiful.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I mean, it's really like, I was in Germany previously, like for a lot of years, the past 7 years for sure. It was quite dense. And as soon as I entered my car actually and drove off, it was kind of really leaving the third and fourth density. Really. I mean, it was amazing.
So you felt the shift, and that was what, 2 months ago? 2 months ago?
2 months ago, yeah. And it was literally, that's the message I got. It's like you were walking out of the third dimension for good.
I think
physically walking out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, one way or the other, are having that type of experience. And as time goes on, more and more, like these last couple of weeks, I think a lot of people are writing about it and talking about it. Mm-hmm. But to me, it just feels like, man, what a whirlwind we went through. I don't know how your summer was, but summer...
Oh, my God.
It was like, burn, baby, burn, you know? But,
it was
yeah, it
incredible.
was. It was crazy. And I feel like I'm waking up from like a 5 or 6 month, I don't know, wild, energetic, cosmic, galactic night, partying for 5 or 6 months, transforming. You wake up and you're just kind of like getting back into your body.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very intense. It's like, it feels to me like ending of a 3-year cycle, and starting 2020, and but so intense. It's like revisiting everything, extremely intense, but on the other hand, the release is much quicker as well.
Yeah, I think everybody's agreed to that. I mean, there's been some rough time, not say rough. They don't last as long. They are very extreme. They can be. And but I think everybody agrees that they're not lasting as long. And we're getting through it quicker.
Yeah. And it's so palpable that, once you're out, you're really in another reality.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to not notice it that much, but now it's not just the knowing, you perceive it more. You see it, you hear it, your whole body is feeling it, and there's no doubt. I mean, we're out of the space of the doubt. We were doubting ourselves. Oh my God, am I really hearing that? Oh my God, was that real, what I saw? Now I at least where I am at, I have the feeling that a huge collective is out of that space, and there is no more doubt.
Yeah.
You don't even ask yourself, oh my God, did I really hear that? Oh my God, shall I do it? No, you just do it. Your ego is kind of doesn't have the time to catch up because you acted already.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things, but I think one thing it's deeply profound. Because you're literally walking in a space where the death program is no longer active.
Yeah.
Like no fear. Like I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah,
it's pretty cool though. A lot of people are coming online, but man, it's been you feel like the last 10 days since I think the 22nd of November.
Oh boy!
Holy shiitake mushrooms!
Yeah.
The 11th through the 22nd, and then it just went boom, and then And a lot of people, more than ever to me, talked about physical stuff. Like I got this sinus infection, and I fought it for like the 10 days. I saw Judith Kuzel had the, she came down with something. So many people I talked to, people went to the hospital. So it was a very physical thing, this period. And I think it speaks to the density of what's been removed. Yeah.
Yeah, breaking down density and rebuilding every single part of our body. I mean, our bones hold so much density. The muscles get, they hold basically the grit
Right.
of the earth that we walk physically in, of the dimension. So everything, and it's painful. It's just painful.
Yeah.
It's
It
painful.
can be.
Yeah.
It can be, and drink a lot of water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had this experience during that time, like, say 7 to 10 days ago. And all the tendons, like all the connectors of the muscles, the tendons and whatever else is there, they all, from my feet up, just went off. And it felt like you know what a Charlie horse is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it was like a Charlie horse, but it went from my toes up into my feet, and then it just, and the whole time it was excruciating.
Yep.
And I was telling my friend about it, Ty, he's a esoteric astrologer, and he was talking about that, and I may not have described it perfectly, but that was the tree of life activating in the body. And then I see this thing that Morgan shared, this Kabbalah looking, I think it's called Kabbalah, or something like that. It's these circles, right? It's these circles. It's pretty famous. It's like, I don't know how many circles.
I know what you mean,
and
but I don't know what it's called. Yeah.
And that, I think, is considered the tree of life. But I mean, if it's happening for one person, it's got to be happening for a whole lot of people.
For many, yeah.
And I really, the physical, the physical part of whatever the hell we just went through, like in this period at the end of November, I really think that speaks a lot to what we're also feeling, which is we cleared a lot of really dense stuff, like really dense.
Absolutely.
And a lot faster too, and a lot less stories,
Yeah. I don't know how it is for you, but sometimes when it's extremely intense, I have the feeling that I'm sitting there for a very long period of time, and it's kind of, oh my God, is it going to ever end? And then suddenly, just like that, poof, it's all gone.
Yeah.
And then you're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. And I like what you said too about the 3D. Like, it's so loud. It's so loud. You see it in yourself, you see it in others, and you see it in environments as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
and
pretty.
It looks more and more crazy. I mean, you look at it, of course, the interesting thing is sometimes you forget that actually you were there as well.
Right.
But it's a good reminder when you start going into judgment, because judgment seems to be kind of the last one to go. I mean, it's quite deeply embedded in our beingness, humanness, whatever you want to call it. But it's absolutely insane when you look at some of the old stuff. It doesn't make sense. It's just absurd. How did we accept that? Yeah, it's crazy.
That's weird. God, what were you just talking about? I got thrown off.
Oh, don't.
What were you just talking about?
Oh, don't worry, I forget my name. I mean,
no, it was important. It was important. Somebody remind us. It was God.
About walking out of 3D.
Yeah, we talked about that, but I don't remember now. I don't remember now. I just feel like that end of November thing. I don't know. October, November just felt like a
huge.
Yeah, it was just like the chrysalis. like being in the chrysalis stage, like just all this plasma and goo and, you know, just a lot of energetics. Because there was a eclipse corridor. I think it was October 25th through November the 8th.
Yeah.
So
something like that. But actually, from what I'm observing, at least energetically, it's never on the exact date. Usually it starts earlier. At least I perceive it like that. So they're just guidelines, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I agree. Just like the stars, just like the movements of the celestial bodies. But I know what it was. You were talking about judgment. To me, judgment and compassion, like that started like middle of October, I want to say. Because I remember somebody came on the show and we were talking and they said, well, you know, not having any judgments, compassion. And I went, oh, bingo. And then I just started to notice it. And again, it has to be out there. But I do think we're judging less. And I think when we're judging, what we're doing is we're taking it into ourselves and not even having to discuss it so much anymore. You're just going, oh, wow, I'm judging, you know?
Yeah. And at least I forgive myself for judging, because I used to, you know,
that's the first
beat
thing
myself
you gotta
up.
do. That's the first thing you got to do. Well, and really the first thing you got to do is, forgive yourself for judging yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, that's that's
right
the worst kind of judgment. Is if anyone is seeing white and blue stars on a daily basis in the sky, I wonder. My birthday's December 9. I don't know. I think people have been seeing a lot of things. Been a lot of anomalies from the 3D perspective, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and even more and more. What I find interesting is, at least from what I'm observing, that even the whatever you want to call them, you know, the not that awake people,
right,
even they're starting to notice a lot of things. But I would go even further. They're starting to get used to it, which is very interesting, because, you know, we may judge them, oh my God, they're not awake, but, you know, they start accepting that as quite normal, which at some level it must be some remembering for sure, because otherwise
I think so.
It would not be accepted.
I think so. And then I think from the human level, because of the loudness of the bullshit, of the distortion of that. I think it's almost like they don't have anywhere to turn. Just like us, it's the same path. And if you think about it, what was the part of the disclosure? You know, you start to find things out and you go, oh, there's no justice. This needs to, you know, you almost have this idea that the heaven will land on earth when everything's brought to justice, or these horrible things aren't out there. But to me, the reality is we have to bring ourselves to justice. Like, we're doing like a life review, you could say, and we're having to own everything about us.
Accountability, absolutely.
Accountability. And I believe as we do that, we will actually see that happen in the world, or whatever world we're living in, however that works.
Yeah, absolutely. Because everybody talks about, claim your power back, but with power comes responsibility.
Right.
You are responsible for every single creation, every single experience, every single exchange.
Every thought.
You call yourself a creating being and co-creator with the divine. Well, then you have to own it all. You cannot just, you know, take the love and fluffy love and light and you have to own it all.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
Yep.
Big stuff. Big merging. Somebody mentioned Vesica Pisces a minute ago. I know people have been writing about it. I know people at the end of November too were like, man, something's landed, or, you know, to me, it felt like we got on the other side of it, and even though we might still be a little dazed, what did you say at the beginning? That we're not doubting, which means we have more confidence in what we're doing in our lives. I think a lot of it too has to do with the fact that, like, people on a platform like this, everybody kind of knows we're all living the same existence. People are packing up and moving. They're mobile. It's all these you would say unsecure or insecure, unstable movements, but we're all okay with it because there's so many of us doing it. That's why it's so good to talk about it. So what made you go to the south of France? Did you get called there, or did you pick it?
Well, for sure, I was called to move, and I prolonged it. Actually, I delayed it by an year, but I knew that it is time, and I felt called to go to the UK, but kind of 1 week, well, pretty much 2 weeks, I had to leave the apartment, basically, and had no place to go. And I was just looking at the UK, and then 2 weeks after, boom. Within hours, literally, it was clear that, we're moving down south. And I was like, okay, that's clear enough. Things just fell into place, and it was crazy. It was really so fast, and it was not something that I expected, but I was open. I knew I had to move. I couldn't stay there anymore, and
I'm in the same boat right now.
Fear, the whole 9 yards. I have a daughter, and of course you think, oh my God, you have responsibility, tra-la-la, tra-la-la. But it doesn't last very long. It doesn't last very long because, we just changed. We changed. We are somewhere completely different. And what I find even more interesting is that when something like that comes up, the old programming, it's more like an echo. It's like the conditioning, but there's no energy behind. It's like you're used to think that way. Your ego, is just running a program, but there's nothing behind. That's why it's released so quickly, because there's no energy behind.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't stick. It's got nothing to stick to.
Yeah. That's how it feels.
Yeah, I got the call, I think it was 2 days ago. December the 12th, I'm done here in Sedona.
Okay.
I've been here off and on since July. And everything will be done and completed. There was this whole 3-6-9-12 thing. So on the 13th, I'm heading out. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I know that there's a movement, a necessary movement of some sort. And I was talking to Morgan yesterday, and she's moving during that period. Like I want to say, like what would be the third week of December. There's a period, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the 12th through the 21st, maybe. But she was talking to a friend, and the friend was saying that, I guess, she's connected in that regard, and she was saying that, there's going to be a lot of us moving around during that period to, specific locations. So
I guess if it's something big, the end of the year, finishing the template, we all have to be physically in specific places, positioned to.
Yeah. I mean, could be, just like that whole circuit of those circles, whatever that's called, if anybody knows what it's called.
Yeah.
Tree of Life, Kabbalah. I should pull the picture up in a minute. But if you think about it like that, we know that's inside of us, but it's also inside the earth. It's also, you know what I mean? Like you said, everything is here inside of us. The grids are inside of us. So it would make sense, powerful sense, that to move energy like we've done when we've done grid work, especially if we're at a point now where we're moving faster, things are clicking. That would, to me, if there was a lot of movement during that time, to me that would be a very good sign, like a really, really strong sign.
Yeah, feels like it. Feels like it. And although it can be very intense, there is peace.
Yeah.
There is peace under.
Yeah.
The chaos, the hysteria, the drama, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
It's just not there anymore. And even if your body reacts, because it has to be released from your
Right.
body, the density, whatever is running, there is no story behind. There is no, there are no even memories.
Mm-hmm.
You don't connect it with anything big. It's just, okay, it feels uncomfortable and pleasant. Okay, it's just density moving around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And it's huge. That's huge. I mean, when I think where we were, at least where I was 3 years ago, I would have never thought that in 3 years so much will change. Never.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, let's just go back to, what was it, February of 2020. The whole COVID thing. I mean, really, January 2020.
Yeah.
And I believe, going back to Franco's intel, I believe it was January the 19th, 2020, that the inverted matrix projection was shut down. Which then COVID coincides with it, which is really our creation, you know. And what did it do? It really energetically changed the world, but not the way it was presented to us. It changed the world because people went inside themselves and then began to take that new presence they had and sharing it with people that they were close to. You know, people they had to live. You know, they had to live together with the quarantines and all that.
Yeah, it was such a gift. People that don't realize that it was really a reset. I mean, you were stuck with yourself, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no distraction. You couldn't go to work or shopping or anything, and you had to just sit there with your own BS.
Right. And cognitive dissonance was on the hot seat, because people had to go, why the hell am I doing this, and why am I doing that, and you know, thinking about the pattern of doing things without even thinking. You know, like, oh, well, why did we do that?
Yeah.
You know, why did we go to this school and learn the ABCs? Why do we, you know, teach this? Why do we teach that? And then you start seeing all the other stuff, like the pharmaceutical stuff, you know, or the political or religious stuff. So I don't really see that there's going to be a clash of polarities, like, say, the distortion on the world stage and Ukraine and China and this and that and this and that. With us, I would say us, I see it more of we're finding out so much about ourselves on an individual basis. We're going, holy shit, we're so powerful, and it's coming in just enough of a pace we can deal with it, and collectively we're gonna understand that too, that together nothing can stop us. There's nothing. It's not even something to worry about.
No.
In fact, the things that are presented to us, even on the internet, most of that is just the old game of trying to take our consciousness, trying to take our focus, and trying to create doubt, like you said at the beginning. We don't doubt anymore.
No. And, well, at least me, I became very picky when, you know, I browse a lot online.
Yeah.
And I became very picky. Sometimes I wouldn't even read or look at something. I just feel the energy and, oh, no.
Yeah, I look at it, I used to look at it for what I do. And then I said, what is it, you know? And I'm at the point now where I don't spend much time with it. And the way I look at it is, if I look at the whole thing, Like, let's say that there are 5 or 6 or the 13 families or whoever, whatever network is controlling the propaganda and et cetera, the money. I kind of see like China, not as a cultural thing, just as a name. China kind of has the most power. They control TikTok, right? They control a lot of countries through and there's other players. But what I'm trying to say is, if you look at China, you see all this quarantine and the military's going in the streets and people living in concert. And I think to myself, that's just a show. That's just a show. That's just propaganda. Because I remember when they started with the COVID thing, and they were in those hazmat suits, and there'd be like 12 guys running after one person, and you're going, that's the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever seen. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I'm not saying anything didn't happen. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that anything didn't happen, but I'm just saying that it is what it is, and what we're doing in our lives individually is what's changing everything.
Absolutely.
It's what's changing everything. We've reconsidered everything. How we live, where we're supposed to live, on what terms we're supposed to live. Like, do I pay rent? Do I buy a place? Do you have a place? To money, to what we'll put up with in our life. Like being at a job you hate. No, I mean, these energetics of these individual actions of self-empowerment are what's created this change. And it's just going to get better. But I'm a bit tired. Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Are you a bit tired? Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of people talked about this period. Of course, the summer, I think the summer, I'm talking like June, July, August. Everyone, end of August, that's when the Soulogy Fest was. But June, July, August, I think everybody was on their own. Like, everybody was getting burnt, like fire.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously. And then I think in September, October, November, there was still a lot of clearing. We were going through it, like you were saying. It was intense, but it would be fast or whatever. But there was a lot of people that said during that time, and I felt that way, and I don't normally feel that way, that we were definitely, no matter how personal it was or the experience was at any given time, a lot of people said that it was definitely had a collective feel to it, like certain souls that had the capacity and enough of a clear channel to be able to take on more than just what they needed to process. So I think that might be the reason too why so many of us had physical implications, particularly at the end of November.
Well, I don't know how exactly that works, but my understanding is that if you feel it, it's yours. It's in your body.
Absolutely.
So we belong to different collectives depending on what we hold inside. So there are gazillions of collectives we belong to. But I understand what you mean. It's this palpable feeling of not being alone and belonging, being in a group kind of thing.
Well, yeah.
That's the feeling I'm getting as well. You feel that you're not alone.
Yes.
Because we were talking, but there is a lot of words being said, and sometimes it takes a lot of years until you really experience and feel what you're saying. So yeah, that's the feeling I have with this belonging.
Well, and the thing is too, it's not like a organization. I'm not talking just about Soulogy. I'm talking about platforms like Soulogy, whatever you want to call it. This group that you're talking about, that we're not alone. But it's not to take anything away from anything. I think we're all getting there too. But it's not like an organization or a religion or a political affiliation or any other type of social, economic, even spiritual. It's like, okay, let's all go sign up over here and be part of this. It's not like that. It's what you're saying is, and that's why I love doing this show and I love this platform, because I see so much here. But what is the most impactful is people talking about their experience without filter, and other people going, oh, wow, what you said, we're not alone, we're not forsaken. And so that's a real organic, kind of a congealment. It's not forced, it's not rhetoric, and it's not dogma or doctrine. It's just feel, energy, sensitivities, and then, of course, the verbalization of it, where people are going, because I get these messages every single day. Every single day I get them. And
oh yeah, absolutely. I live completely isolated for the past 7 years. I don't see people. I don't want to see people, and I'm very happy.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, and even in in Soulogy or Facebook friendships, I don't communicate much with people. I really don't. If I
you'd be surprised. I don't either. And it creates.
Oh, I believe you.
At times, it creates some situations. Yeah, like today when I went to breakfast, there was 3 people or 4 people. There was 3 people that were pulled in town. They're like, hey, you want to get together? And then yesterday, I think there was 3 or 4 people. But I know that, like, we're going to come out. I know that. But I think we're learning to come out. And even for someone like me who likes to be around people, I need some of that quiet space. I think we all do, really, to be in our own energy and kind of like sift through everything we've been through, or what's left. That's what it's felt like to me a lot too. And I've heard other people say it, where it's like, okay, we just got through that. Now what do we have here? Like, because a lot of the stuff you can feel has left us, such as you're talking about with judgment and, so on. But, like, what do we have left here? And I think because we've always had to, like, push through the shadow and, and it was a grind, we didn't really notice as much, therefore not appreciate the skills and abilities and magical things that are coming online for us. But I think now, because it's kind of simmered down a little bit or something, or maybe we've emptied enough that we can actually feel the telepathy, trust the intuition, not doubt things, by looking at things through the human glasses only. And then just...
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm good. I was just going to say, and then I think the other thing is just showing up, no matter how you feel. And I think there's a huge value to that, because when you do that, you're stepping through your vulnerabilities and your transparency. And that's, no matter what you say to me or vice versa, that to me is what really expands the code. Whatever you have to share, your energy. Like, I don't know, it doesn't sound real exciting, but it I've seen it. I see it happen. Just like you coming on right now.
Oh yeah. I was pushed, like so many people you said that are saying it. I was pushed to come on and pushed, and I was always finding, the little excuses. Oh, but I don't know what.
I get a lot of this.
My stomach hurts. My hair is wet, and I don't know what. And now, I didn't think. I just didn't think. I just grabbed the phone. I saw the link, and I grabbed the phone, and I was like, okay, that's it. And even, to be honest, even 3 months ago, I wouldn't have not done it. And I didn't do it. I had the opportunity, you had the open mic, and I didn't do it. But now it's like everything is completely different. And it's so cool.
Yeah.
because we have gone through so much, so much.
I know. It's true.
Crazy.
It's true.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, my friend wrote me today, one of the many messages I got today, and it was like, I've known her for a long time. Like, I've known her since early Soulogy days, like 2016, maybe. But she was just saying, and she was talking to a friend of ours, and she was like, we both said, well, what the hell? Like, I am tired, like, more than ever. And she had some medical stuff, and I think the other lady had some too. And I just said, I don't know why, but I know it's behind us. Like, something's behind us in a huge way, in a very, very huge way. And I've heard people writing about it and talking about it in different ways. The masculine, the feminine, the Vesica Pisces coming online, Golden Child coming online, sacred, union. These are frequencies. I mean, but it all adds up to the same thing, which is that Trinity energy, where we're actually operating in equilibrium to each other and to the collective. And it's not some hokey-pokey love and light stuff. It's what we've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
0 point, shadow work, activations.
Growling and crawling and crying and drooling. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. Yeah, that was intense. July, August, September, and then, I don't know. End of August,
Beyond
we got shot out of a cannon. It was like boom.
It was crazy. It was crazy. I couldn't believe that. I didn't expect it. That it's going to be so intense.
So you have did you say you have a daughter with you?
I have a daughter.
That lives with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 16.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anytime someone tells me they have teenage girls, I think about the 4 I had. I'm like, oh my God. But in the ascension, to be going through, with the teenager must be really interesting. And then, of course, the mother-daughter connection. To me, it's always fascinated me. That's the strongest connection in this realm. To me, it is. But that must be intense at times as well. Do you feel like? Because I think when people talk about the young people, they talk about how they don't speak the same language, but they can like detect their frequency, like they can see the difference between them and us. Can you with your daughter? Like they talk about those kids. There's certain things, if it doesn't make sense to them, they're not going to do it. That doesn't.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. She just stopped going to school because it was hell for her. She was completely misplaced all the time. So she was like, okay, I'm done. So she's studying now by herself, and of course I had to go through a lot of work to let her do what she wants. And now she's completely free and completely independent. And she's, the most striking thing for me is that what I have worked on, some programming and blah blah blah, and they just don't have it. It's not even a subject for them. They don't even give it a thought.
Right.
Because in their minds, it doesn't exist at all.
Right.
And if I speak about it, she wouldn't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Right.
That I find fascinating, how much purer they are and how, purer. I cannot say it otherwise, with so much less distortions. A lot of things
true.
are just not in their field.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can look at. What I've seen of them, because I have 6 kids, but and they're a pretty good range there. They're like 20 to 33, and I don't speak to them much, but just knowing them and when we do talk or when we do connect, like where they're at. They do have like a common thing going on, and it's interesting because there's 13 years difference between the youngest and the oldest. But I can see where they're, I don't know, like finding their way. Like they're not compromising to the whole. They're adapting the best they can, and I can see the symmetry of it, how it's falling into place. And yeah, I think these kids are going to be a huge help for all of us. Very quickly.
Yeah, and but that's extremely strong, as you said. Doing what they want, what they feel like, and not being in this social pressure, obligations, having to comply because society expects it and things like that. Nope.
That's right.
She doesn't feel like it. She doesn't want to do it, and she doesn't do it, and that's it. There's no second thought wasted on it. No. And that's it.
Man, it's getting exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a friend. Hang on. Let's see who else we got.
Oh, let's see who
It's
else.
Daniel. It's Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
The smoking Frenchman. Y'all will get you two will get along great. Y'all can speak French.
Wow.
What was that song by? Was it Shaka Khan? Uvu shake Francois.
I don't know.
Gitchy, ya,
Let
ya,
Daniel
mama.
sing.
Remember that song?
Oh, yeah.
Gitchy, ya, ya, mama. Lady Marmalade. That's what it was called. Lady Marmalade. Yeah, I was at this, what was it? Some kind of resort. They used to be worldwide, but they had one in Florida. We had to go to a business meeting there or something. We were at the bar doing karaoke, and the guy I was with knew French and knew the words to what the words meant. And I think it's something like "Will you go home with me?" or something like that. That part of that song when they speak the French. Because the group, anyway, that was an old memory. I don't know why that came up. What's up, Daniel? You got nothing to say?
Yes, I tried to get this microphone set, but something went a little bit weird. Yesterday it functioned, but tonight is.
Yeah, it's Mars retrograde. Mars retrograde.
But the interesting part is, the interesting part is on the phone, on the smartphone of mine. It connects the internet off and on. Possibly something with the electronic, but it's weird. First time doing it like that, or it behaves like that. On and off and on and off and on and off. It's weird. I thought about it. What is it? It's possible that there's some energy or strong frequency, but usually I do electrician. I'm like an electrician, or I made the diploma for electrician, but it is weird, a weird behavior. Yeah, and for you, all good by you?
Yeah, well, I mean, the electronic stuff has been, I think that's been showing itself for a while, but more and more now. And other things.
like oneself is crazy. I was till before I took a bath, and then I saw you got online, and this was like a relief for me. It's like I was there, and then I heard, but after I like slept or where I was like there, relaxed, and then the phone vibrates. I thought my life partner was it, and then I saw, but I had a feeling it was you with Soulogy. Then I looked, and I saw, oh, good. I put it on. You put a little bit music that was good for me, and then you said, let's do a little open mic. Something in me like gets excited. I like to come to open mics. It is for me something very, very, how should I say it? Something exciting.
Good. Good. Well, I just sit there and I go, well, I could sit. I went to the parking lot. I pulled up. I had some coffee and a sandwich. And I sat there and I thought, man, I feel like I'm in like an energetic hangover. And I started reflecting on the last 5 months, and I'm like, holy crap. And I thought, well, I can just, I don't have to go on. I don't have to broadcast, but there is something about it. It helps me. Even though I don't feel that, I don't feel 100,000% all the time, and like right now. But I don't know. There's something about just, again, like people hearing stories and just the connection, and I don't know, that seems to be helping.
I think you said, or someone, how she explained it. I remember there was a woman said, when you are doing this or when you avoid it, then you like slow it down or something, but then when you feel like this, you should do it to accelerate or to you know what I mean. I think Sister Delia said like this, or someone, but someone said it. Very, very precise. Yes. I feel that like this. and I loved it every time I saw you when you were like that, but you even do it. You done it. And then I was there like crying, and I feel you. I feel like you, and I reflect what is happened, and it's very interesting. I cried many times when I watched you. I felt you like a brother for me. how you speak, and once I sat there, he even looks similar a little bit to the but interesting. The words, the frequency, I feel for you from you immense knowledge. Every time you speak, for me, it suits me. It relaxes me, and what you do, it is. I have a big honor for you. It is. Yeah.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Mi hermano.
De nada.
Is French a Latin language? I guess it is, isn't it? Yeah.
You know what I find interesting, without discriminating on the languages, but the Slavic languages. Like I once said, I am capable of singing on Serbian language. It has a really beautiful energy.
Yeah.
But specific for this, I feel I grew up with this language. The related mother and father of mine, like always talked the Serbian language with me, and I felt the energy, the switch of the energy. So from Swiss German to I say Yugoslavian, or without discriminating, like Serbish and Croatian.
Right.
Yeah, it's the whole. Yeah. Every time I feel the switch, it is profound for me, beautiful, deep, emotional.
Well, speak some to us.
Pa kad želiš, ja mogu da pričam sa tobom srpski jezik. To je nešto drugačije i osjeća se drugačije. Moguće da će mi drugi razumet, ja mislim sigurno, ali lepi jezici su. Ja osjećam tu energiju.
Ja sve sam razumela.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, wait.
Super.
Were you speaking Swiss German to him, or were you speaking Serbian?
This was, yes.
Serbian.
Can you speak it?
I used to speak it fluently, yes.
And
I understand.
So what language do you speak? Swiss German?
Well, I used to speak around, I don't know, 14 to 17 languages.
Good God.
Yeah.
She is
But,
a galactic.
yeah, well, but then I asked the universe for an acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
And end of January 2020, I had a nice stroke.
Wow.
So my left brain got fried. So yeah, not much left of the languages. I do understand, but the speaking part is pretty much gone.
I forgot that happened to you.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we exchanged messages. I remember you telling me. That was January of 2020?
Yep, on the 30th of January.
My God. Well, I'm happy that you're good.
Oh, yeah, I was, and it was a decent one. I mean, I was paralyzed, I was blind, but once I stopped the chemicals pretty much, within 3 months, my vision was restored, and that was it. It was like never happened.
So what chemicals did they, they put you on a whole bunch of chemicals and pills?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They almost killed me, basically. Now, I started getting blind.
So you were in this really bad physical condition, and your soul must have been really loud, I guess, because something in you said, I'm getting off of all of these pills and chemicals. Did they fight you?
Yeah.
Did the medical people fight you on it?
Oh, yeah. Nobody wanted me to go for a visit or anything. I didn't want either. But my last visit was I went there and I said, listen, I stopped absolutely everything. Oh, no, I'm not taking that responsibility because you're supposed to take it. And if something happens to you, and I was like, okay, then we are done. And that was it. But what was even more interesting is that when you have a stroke, the vein, basically the blood vessel that supplies the brain, it gets kind of stopped, right? So there's no blood flowing to the brain. And these blood vessels are smaller, narrower forever.
Oh, I see.
But after I stopped all the traditional medication, I basically just started investigating alternatives, absolutely simple, natural things that you can get everywhere, like ginger powder or curcuma.
Really?
Or yes, absolutely.
So, okay, I want to understand this. So January of 2020, January 30th, 2020, you have a stroke, a serious stroke.
Yep.
You're paralyzed on half your body? Is that what you said? And your vision's off, and your left brain gets fried, which you probably needed to make room. You said, right? You wanted an expansion. They probably need to get all that data out of there with 17 languages. So they put you on a protocol for about 3 months. You're getting worse, and you say, I'm done. And then how long did it take you to get back to the way you are now? You said it didn't take very long after that?
Well, actually, I'm as good as I have never been all my life. But to recover from the stroke physically, you mean like get rid of the blindness and
you were on their medicine for 3 months, and then you went off of it? Okay.
Yeah.
And so how long after you went off of their medicine and started your own holistic approach did you get to a point where you felt pretty good?
Physically, about 6 weeks.
Wow.
After 6 weeks, I was seeing almost 100%. But the deep work were the fears, panic attacks, extreme panic attacks. I couldn't get out of my apartment for 3 months.
Were you...
Extreme fears.
Yeah. So I guess you were very scared in February, March, April. Wow.
Yep.
Did you have anybody with you?
My daughter. She was taking care of me.
Your daughter?
Yeah, she was 13 at the time.
That's amazing.
And that is amazing. Yeah.
What's that, Daniel?
I have a question. Do you dreamed or dream? Are you dreaming or then in the past?
Lucid dreaming, clearing density. Most often I ask that I clear density while I'm asleep, so I don't have to go through more bullshit when I'm.
Yeah, that's the Soulogy way.
Yes.
We'll back that up. We need a sponsor. We need a sponsor. That's going to be our sponsor. Our sponsor is going to be the. We're not going to have a doctrine. It's just going to be let's go through the transformation of our lucid dreams, so we don't have to deal with the bullshit. I love that.
Exactly.
God, that's a powerful story. It says a lot about you or your daughter. I mean, again, the individual, but the collective, because there's no question that people that are in similar situations medically or even psychiatrically that turn away from the traditional medicine, and then they have this. Basically, they have a healing. That's a powerful thing. Think about that. That's going into the new Earth grid, so to speak. It really is. That's such a powerful thing. And then your daughter, my God, y'all must really be connected.
Yeah. What was interesting is that basically when I was delivered in the hospital, and then the doctors came and told me, oops, you had a stroke. And I remember this woman doctor, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with people, and she was like, well, you're blind, and that's it. I mean, that's the first thing she says after the doctor tells me that I had a stroke. And of course, I realized I'm paralyzed, I don't see. And the only thing I thought, and I was like, oh my God, this person is crazy. How can she say that to a patient? So basically, I just looked at her completely shocked from what she said, but I didn't take it personal. That was what was interesting. And I just looked at her, back at him, and I said, you know what? I'm tired. I'm just going back to bed. And I just turned around, and that was it. And I was so peaceful because I knew I'm fine. I knew I was blind. I knew I was paralyzed, but I knew I'm fine. And what was really interesting is that I knew that I'm going to be fine physically also, but even if I didn't, I was okay with it. That was such a powerful place to be. That was just amazing. That was incredible. I cannot describe the power of being at that space. It is like nothing and nobody, nothing can harm you.
Yeah.
Ever. Zero fear. Zero, but not the cocky way, just complete peace. Complete peace, and all is good. And in a sense, nothing matters, but everything matters. I don't know how otherwise to explain it.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I had the same type of thing happen in 2011, 2012, when I chose to be homeless. But yeah, it was a whole. I may not get anywhere better than where I'm at, but I'd be okay with it. And it was a whole fear thing, the death thing and the fear thing, just.
Yeah.
But I think it sounds to me like the process was kind of the same. I'm talking about the energetics of it, really the facing the fears
Absolutely.
of it.
Absolutely.
Because I think sometimes it's misunderstood that we have a transformation and we turn into Buddha the next day, But for me, the transformation, it feels like energetically like what you went through, because even though you're at this place where you have no fear or of death, you still have fears coming up every single day during that period. And it was a constant self-accountability and self-responsibility. And at your level, I can't even speak to, because I didn't have any type of physical, challenge. I mean, I can't even imagine if I was in the situation you were in, and that happened to me, let's say 10 years ago instead of the other way. Would I have had the fortitude to heal myself? Like, that's powerful. That's just like blows my mind. You should be.
Well,
you should be sharing this story. You should be sharing this story. It's incredible.
Well, I tried, but the thing is, everybody starts, oh, poor you, and get well, and things don't. People don't understand that was the greatest gift I have ever received. The greatest, because yes, the first 6 months after the stroke, I went not through hell, but through every single hell in the fucking galaxy. But after that, once I came out, I had cleared so much that if that hadn't happened, probably in this lifetime, I would not have managed to clear that much. So it was an amazing gift. It was beyond a blessing in disguise. But it's often misunderstood, and people think that, oh, I'm the poor victim, and no.
Well, it is kind of a slippery slope, because I mean, people have made comments to me about you talk about being homeless, and I get what they're saying, but I think it is misconstrued, because I think, what do they call it, a samadhi moment, or whatever, transformational period or phase, but I do think that it's significant. Not the story as in, wow, I did this or went through that, but what actually happened to the person. Like what you're explaining about yourself. Like, to be in that space, the lady comes in and says, the doctor says, you had a stroke, and the lady says, you're blind and that's it. And you're like, hey, fuck it, I'm going to go back to sleep. And you said in that moment, you were going to be good no matter what. And that's all I was trying to say about the importance of the story, is because that was the first day. And you had to go through 6 months of not just hell, but every hell in the galaxy. So that's what I was trying to explain about the what I call the spirit walk for myself, the homeless period, was every day there was massive fears to face. All day long. It's such a, crazy level. So I can't imagine, the situation.
There were days, for example, I would like 24 hours on the floor. I would not be even able to crawl on the bed from fear. I would just lay down on the floor, paralyzed from fear.
Wow.
Screaming. Oh, yeah.
Man, that's wild.
That's wild, yeah.
No, seriously, that's wild. To be paralyzed from fear, and also to physically be partially paralyzed, like. Yeah. But I guess you recognized it and approached it from the energetics, Well, I guess body, mind, soul. But I mean, you weren't going to be limited. Well, you weren't going to be limited by. I'm surprised that the medical establishment even let you get off the meds in the condition that you were in. So that's pretty cool, because I could see where.
I left the hospital after 1 week. I told them I'm leaving. No, on the 5th day, actually, I left. They said they cannot let me because it's against the law, so I had to stay one more night. But on the 6th day, then I left. I went to the Oberarzt, and I was like, listen, dude, I'm going to die here. I told him, I'm going to die here. This place is making me sick, so let me sign whatever you want. I'm leaving, or I'll run away. So either you let me go or I'll run away, and then you're liable if something happens to me. So he let me go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the law. Yes, I like me. I signed something and bye bye. But the only thing I had was the how you say this. I'm sorry, but balls here.
what?
But the balls
The
here. Krenici, when you have angina, the Mandeln.
yeah,
It's called in
Mandeln,
German.
aber I don't know in
Yeah.
English.
Yes, like me, I said the balls from the throat.
The balls of
Inside
your
your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, inside your throat. Thought you have these little two balls.
This is our balls, but
Man,
when you say it like this, it's like, yeah.
well, I don't know, man. The Serbian, y'all got a pretty sick sense of humor or something going on here. I'm kidding.
That's me. That's me. Hey, that's me. but the
Zana got on it too because she's Eastern European too.
yeah, the interesting part is when I heard the story from the related father from mine, how he gets it out or operated, if you would like to say it like this. He told me they took a needle, they put it in without anesthetics, and then put it in, turn it around, pull it, and then cut it. Oh my gosh! When I heard that, oh my gosh, I was like, I was shocked. And if I thought about it, or if I think about it, how it was in the past, yeah. Once I was in this judgment space, yeah, pharma industry and all that. But I realized it has many benefits. Everything has its benefits, and yeah, I would like to talk like this. But how I thought then, I'm thankful of the modern medicine or the practice. I experienced some natural treatings. I was once in a place where they treat multiple sclerosis, MS, and it was all natural. Very interesting there in the area. I say the Balkan area. They have advanced natural healing practices. Very interesting, connected with the nature.
I've heard that. I had a friend that was staying like at, I think like not monasteries, but something like that. You know, ashram types, and he was in Romania, and I think he was working with these women in a certain town for like a long time, like for 2-3 years. But that was part of what they did. They had retained the like the treatments and the herbal treatments and the holistic through oral tradition, like through passed down through generations and generations. And they were like, you know, the gatekeeper. What happened to?
Oh, possibly the electronics.
Isn't she amazing? That was amazing, that story.
Yes, and a very soothing energy. I feel like home when she speaks.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yes.
Y'all, I was thinking there for a minute I was going to have to give y'all some privacy. I just put up the link if anybody wants to come in the studio. I put it up on my Facebook page. I'm going to put it up on the YouTube, right? The link if anybody wants to come in the studio. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go for a little bit longer. You know, it's going on like 2 hours.
I thought it's late to join in, but I tried, and then you let me in.
We need a land of Oz without a wizard. Compliments of Bruce.
We need
I
a
don't know,
land of
man.
poems.
Yeah, Bruce, he's the wordsmith. He's the word master.
Yeah, I think it's the person who, like me, smoked a little bit, physically older.
Yeah.
Very interesting for me. I
Oh
watched
yeah,
the
he's
whole
he's
show.
a he's a
Wow.
he's a really special guy, no doubt.
For me, very interesting, and what he said and how he talked, and
Yeah,
very interesting.
he
Strong for
definitely
me.
speaks a very coded speak, even when he's
Uh,
just
who is
verbalizing.
who is very strong for me, and she feels like a sister who I doesn't met for a long time. Is Judith, the sister Judith Kusler.
Oh yeah,
Who I many times I cried when
dude,
I listened to her.
she's something else, man. She's
Yeah, you described it well when you said it, like a library of,
well,
of
she
history.
was. Hang on, Martina. If that link's not working, put it in a different browser, like Google Chrome or Safari, something like that, and it might work. Yeah, Judith Kuzel. But see, Judith Kuzel, she was a librarian in this lifetime, right? And I don't remember all the details of her story. Of course, she got woken up, number one. Or maybe she never was asleep. I don't know. But she ended up getting out of that because I think there was some type of, I don't want to say conflict, but there was some type of issue, you know. But anyway, so she ended up like being homeless and stuff at one point. I mean, she's a warrior. She's a warrior. That woman is a warrior. She's been to Egypt. She's been to South, France. She's been to, she wrote a great book I've got here. Why I Was Born in Africa, I think is the name of it. She's got some good information, really good information. I put anyway, so the significance of her being a librarian is that she's kind of a universal Akashic librarian as well, in my opinion. That's what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she's real connected to Elysium, the Lion Kingdom, the Avalon, Lemuria, Atlantis, Egypt, the whole.
And the
What's
African.
That?
The
Oh
African,
yeah, I think she's because she's in Johannesburg or South Africa somewhere. I don't know if she's Johannesburg.
I found this beautiful, and then the sister who talks about the golden temples of light. Last time, if you,
Linda. That's Linda Jarrett. That's Linda
yeah,
Jarrett.
possible. And when I was on the way to my life partner, I listened to the meditation that she made with you. Wow, it does does something with me, and it was beautiful. I had headaches after that. It was very strange.
You had headaches?
I felt like very much time I get like that something or technologists try to influence me into me, but yeah, let it go through me, and without judging or something. I learned that. And meanwhile, without judging and say, why? But sometimes I had like phases where I cursed and
cursed.
Yeah, like cursed and went against it. I felt it, and then like let me be my peace, let me go away.
Was that from the meditation that she did?
This was I think I felt and I feel less. This is less from the meditation. It is like something was trying to influence me to avoid that I made this meditation, but I made it, and this healing chamber, very interesting. I visualized it, and it helped me.
Well, there's so many. I mean, I think a big part of it too. Like people talk about, well, I don't read books anymore. I used to read all the time, but like people talk about, I'm not watching many videos anymore, and So we are self-sourcing. But I think another part of it too that we kind of utilize is the flow. Like if you get on the news feed and you just read the perfect thing for you in that moment, or you get a validation of something that you received the night before, or and I think too the same goes for the openness of like being open to like that meditation, or like the music, Thai's music that we've been playing at night. Yeah, you can have instant healing. Here's our friend. All the Europeans are in the house today. All the Europeans in the house today.
Hello, sister.
Hello.
What's happening, Martina? What's going on?
I have some technical issues. They won't let me in, and
like
we have no internet in the house, and so I have to go via mobile, and it did not work on the mobile to join, and so now I have a hotspot, and
See, light workers are figuring out how to use electronics. So what's going on, Martina? How are you?
Yeah. I don't know where to start. It's really intense since our talk.
Yes.
I think the internet.
She looks good though. That happens to that, but that happens to a lot of people. They tell me they come on the show, especially if it's someone like her, where they haven't ever done it, and it's a really big deal to them. And sometimes I guess I can forget that, but and they'll tell me, like it happened to my friend Angela Dwell. I remember her telling me about it. But like ever since the show, they go through like this big, I guess, expansive period, or whatever you want to call it, downloads, channelings. So I guess it's, I guess a lot of things affect us that way, though.
Yes, what I find beautiful, it stopped like with that beautiful smile. The picture.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
But everything is speaking to us, right? I mean, truly, everything is speaking to us, and her few words and her smile said it all. I hope she comes back, but if she didn't, said it all. Said it all.
It is. It is how it is. I say it like that, to that what you said before. First comes you. It should be good for you.
Yeah.
And then right, without telling what you have to do, how this is how I see, how I learned, without telling or saying I am first or something. It is that, but it is to say when I learned, for me, for example, if I'm not good, or physically, or elsewise, then how is it possible to heal someone else? And something I noticed is when I was like trying and put myself, or only to describe it, I took that rest of energy that I had up to like function or to be, and then afterwards, or in the middle of that, I was like irritated sometimes, and like vroom, it switched many times. And then I learned, for me, it is more effective when I heal myself first, and then fully to be able to heal another fully, instead of healing piecewise.
Right.
Like it is possible to irritate someone else. Hello.
Hey, we have another friend. We have another.
Yes.
How do you say your name? Vaima.
Vaima.
Yeah. Vaima. And what country are you in?
I'm in France too, south of France.
Oh my God, what's up with the Europeans, man? This is European Day. We got Switzerland, we got the French smoker, and we got another French.
Another French smoker over here too.
Well, that's okay. I'm a Texas smoker, so don't worry about it. We're past all the judgment now.
Yes.
Daniel, Hivasadu something. So Vaima, is that right? Vaima.
Yes.
How are you? It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Aloha, everybody watching, everyone. So I don't know. I just pushed the button too.
That's good. I
you
love
said it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. So
it's going to be all right. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. I'm glad. Have you ever been on camera before like this?
No, it's
okay.
the first time.
Well, it's an honor to have you here. Yeah.
Thank you.
So okay, we can pick up a little bit about you now because you've got this incredible Egyptian tapestry behind you.
Yes, also I have this painting.
What is that? What is that?
See if I can. So it was done by. I see if I can turn the camera.
Hang on, I got you. I put you on the camera by yourself so you can show us.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Made by a friend of mine who's a shaman, and yeah, I really like it. I think it was like a gift I made to myself, like I don't know how long ago, maybe 2 years ago, and a lot of things have happened since, So very inspired painting and
what
I don't know, like a metamorphosis, a lot of things have changed in my life since.
Wow. So we have another French-speaking.
Yeah.
What's going on today? I'm going to have to learn French.
Yeah.
What's that? Gitchy, ya, mama.
Yeah.
Is that
Lady Mama?
Yeah.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Yeah.
Valerie, meet Vaima. You know Daniel.
Hello.
Your countryman. And Valerie is a really cool lady that's going to collaborate with us. But so Vaima, let's just go around the horn here. So Vaima, how long have you been watching Soulogy?
The connection.
Who's that? Is that Vaima's connection bad?
I think so.
Oh well, at least we get to. There you go. Can you hear me all right, Vaima? Oh, I think her connection's. Look at Valerie's friend.
Yeah.
What's your friend's name, Valerie?
Her name is Eli. Yeah. It's mean God. Yeah. Mean God. Eli.
How you been doing, Valerie? What's going on with you?
I'm doing fine, yes. I said, I'm going to say hello to everyone. Yeah.
Right on. God, we got more coming in. Hang on, we'll have to get organized here. So here's another one, but her picture's not. Oh, there she is. That is Geraldine. Geraldine. Wait a minute. Hang on. God, we got like 7 people coming in now. Hang on. Let me just. Okay, Geraldine. Yes.
Yep.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you located?
Michigan.
Michigan. We've got. Well, this is the first American we've had on. Everyone's from all over the world. Did we lose somebody? Or are we still okay? We lost Vaima. Okay. So, Geraldine, this is Valerie. She's from Montreal.
Canada.
Montreal.
No, Quebec.
Quebec.
Yeah.
Daniel, where you at? Where you at, Daniel?
Basel. It's Basel.
Basel. What province is that in?
It is. How should I say it? It's a canton. It's like a canton where it's in. It's the place in Switzerland is like many little
oh, I see.
areas.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
Basel is a city.
So we got Michigan, Quebec, and Basile, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Basel. Yes, it is.
So,
it is
Geraldine, how long you been watching Soulogy?
Oh, a couple years now. I was actually on video with you a couple years ago.
You were? Was it an open mic or a show?
It was a show. It was under Isa and Misa.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't recognize the name. Yes, I remember that. Yes, okay. Weren't y'all living out somewhere too? Like, was it
in the woods? Yeah.
Okay, I remember you very well. I remember you from YouTube too, as well. So, yeah. Well, I just want to put it out there that, how many of us light workers do have a smoke, okay? So we're not hiding it anymore. Everybody that comes on now. Of course, Rick Jewers has been doing it for years. Rick Jewers, he chain smokes the whole time he comes on. He's hilarious. So what's been going on? I don't know what to call you. Should I call you Geraldine or...
Yeah, that's fine.
Geraldine. That's a cool name, actually. Geraldine.
Thank you.
What's been going on for you through this past, everyone said the summer was hot, September, October, November, just like we're just coming out of this energetic bloodbath. And
it was pretty chaotic. It was pretty chaotic the last 6 months.
I know it created a lot of good stress and pressure for everybody individually, but I also know that it was very, very challenging to couples. That period, July, August, September, October. I don't know if you experienced any of that.
Well, yeah, I'm now in separation, so.
Well, all I can say is I've seen a lot of them separate, and a lot of them have come back together. I think these couples, my situation included, they need to be given a lot of credit. They've been doing a lot of work for the collective in a very intense way, and so I just wish the best for you no matter what, and for both of you. But it doesn't take away from the energetic work these couples have brought to the table. It's very important. It's a lot more than the whole twin flame connotation, and it's work. And yeah, don't give up.
Oh, I won't.
I know that. Valerie, did you have any rough moments since I talked to you last time?
It's it's like you say, we feel like tired, but in the same time, when I do what I want to do, then I'm all okay. It's like in the night, we're all really tired, but as soon as I put my feet on the floor, it's like I'm okay. So it's about it.
And Geraldine, how long has it been since you've been out of the woods, so to speak?
About a year and a half. I'm still in the woods, but now I own a house in the woods.
Well, that's not bad.
Mm-mm. It kind of fell in my lap. So while everything's falling apart, everything's also falling together.
Isn't that the truth?
I'm a walking contradiction.
Isn't that the truth? One of my favorite lines from one of my favorite songs. But isn't that the truth? Things are falling apart and falling in place at the same time. And I think the real important thing is not to throw any absolutes down. Like, well, this is the way it's going to be. You know what I mean? It's like that openness has to remain. But that's great that you got your own place. Yep. I'm putting out a prayer. I might as well do it now. And that's going to be to find a secluded place with great internet and total privacy somewhere in this country for the next 2 to 3 months. And the reason for that is because I feel like this next 2 to 3 months, there's still going to be a lot of adjusting for us, I guess, adapting, adjusting, as we learn how to, function and create. I don't know. Anybody got anything on that? Geraldine, do you want to comment on that?
I got a spare bedroom.
Well, I mean, I do know people around the country, but yeah, I just feel like this. I was telling my friend, I just want to go to a cabin, like even if it's a single cabin with just a bathroom and a hot plate.
Yeah.
But of course the problem with that type of location is typically you will have an internet problem. At least that's been my experience. But I don't know. I'm gonna come up with something. I'm leaving here in how many days? 11 days, and I have no idea where I'm going.
Well, the thing about that is like rent itself is just getting so expensive here in America.
It's crazy.
Even like in Michigan for a cabin, like a 1-bedroom cabin, you're looking at anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800 a month.
Oh no! I'm gonna make a deal with the universe. It's gonna be an equal energy exchange of some sort, and But the way things have been going for us all, these types of, I don't know, what do you say? These types of desires that are in alignment or purely intended, like in the Trinity energy, they're coming through. I know a lot of people that have had situations like yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to ask you something?
Go ahead.
Brother Todd.
Oh, you want to ask me something? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
It's a conversation. This is a conversation. It's not a talk show. It's a conversation. This is so cool because of the spontaneous, like Geraldine and Valerie popping in, the others popping in. Yeah, go ahead.
How do you feel in the moment, or what you're feeling? I'm curious.
What do you mean? How do I feel right now?
Mm-hmm.
Tired. Because it's been a long. Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time, but I feel tired. I feel, but I feel like there's nothing but progress has been made. There's something huge we just went through that concluded right at the end of November that I feel like was a 4 or 5 month ordeal, with the summer and I feel like I want to create on a personal level. I feel like I want to create carefully and try to keep things as clear and clean as possible. Collaborate, but carefully interact with people. I don't know, just kind of feel into this new atmosphere because it's very new to me. It feels like I've been waiting for the magic for a long time, and I think a lot of people have. And I'm ready to implement it at the penalty of death because there is none. Okay, that's how I feel. But I'm out of my body, and this is a Friday, and
me, without putting pressure on you. I was curious, and I would like to ask you once a question. You are oftentimes the questioner.
Oh yeah.
Or you question, and I would like to ask you. I'm curious, and in my perspective, you have the magic.
Oh yeah, we all have the magic.
Yes,
we all have the magic.
I see. Yeah, I say like you, but specifically for.
Yeah, but the other thing is too. I noticed this too. Like people could look at my life the last 5 months and go, "He's crazy," but if you see the symmetry of it all and the power of it all, then you can actually see. But if I what I was going to say is like if you look at Geraldine's case, she just this thing fell into her lap. Things are unraveling and happening at the same time. I know Valerie's scenario. She's very much because we've talked privately. We're going to collaborate on some things, and she made a choice to step in her power and step away from the norm.
Yeah.
And Daniel's the same way. You know, and that's what we've been talking about today. These other Edina that came on. Edina, that's crazy, man. She had a stroke. She's a young person. 3 months and they got her on the meds, and she says, "F you, I'm leaving." And 6 weeks later, she's back. You know, this is amazing. This is happening. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to leave the planet. I don't want to leave this body. But I'm not going to compromise. You know, I'm not compromising for no. Geraldine,
Yeah.
how do you feel about compromising or not compromising?
I think I've gotten to the point, I've compromised a lot in the last like 4 or 5 years, but I mean, to the point to where I lost a whole lot of my peace and my intuition. And so at this point, I think the universe has got me to a part where I am so isolated to even where my truck don't work now. Like it's got me isolated to work on myself just enough, because I've always been distracted by something outside of myself to deal with any of the healing.
Right.
It kind of feels like everything is imploding to explode.
Yes. Yeah, and I noticed too, like when I came back from the whole Soulogy Fest experiences, so it would have been like getting into October, late September. But I noticed on the shows, like something had shifted then too. Like I could tell. A lot of people talked about the end of August, like we got shot out of a cannon or something happened. You know, the summer just burned everybody to a crisp, right? And then we go into September. But I noticed that the people that come on, like even right now, like what you just said, like there's something was different about them. They were more down to earth. They were more in touch with their human. And all of the woo-woo and all of the other stuff was still there and great. But I just saw people, they were just more in their body and more in touch with themselves. And I guess, you know, at some level of transformation that I just noticed, and maybe it was me, I don't know. But down to earth, the egoic frequencies fading, I guess would be another way to say it. I don't know.
I learned many things from Sadhguru. I recommend him.
He's interesting. He's an interesting guy.
I made some meditations where he guided and it was very strong. Very strong. And then how he talked, the energy, and you said down to earth. Mm-hmm. But it is the it is a good word, multidimensional. It is like I learned many things. For me, helped me very, very much. And Moji. But many. Yes. Moji is the voice. It's incredible for me.
Who's your go-to, Valerie? Do you follow anyone like Moji or?
I follow Amanda Lawrence. I love her. I think I have a lot of things in common with her. Like I see the other things that she says she see. I also see. I follow also Judith Kosol. Who else? Well, I used to follow others too, but I'm kind of less going there because I don't need to go there. Right. It's like I think that's the energy that we have because we're turning more on what is inside of us, and I also receive my own communication. So it's like it's often like a confirmation. You know, I will receive something, and then a few days later, I have a confirmation somewhere. You know, somewhere else telling the same thing. So it's kind of.
So Judith Kuzel, Amanda Lawrence, and you're in like most of us as well. I think a lot of us are starting to rely on our self-sourcing. What about you, Geraldine? Do you follow anyone? I'm just curious.
I did a whole lot more when I first started waking up back in 2018. Like you said, it's gotten a lot more inward. So like a lot of the people I was following, I'm not following so much or watching so much. But Judith is one of them. Nicole and Dove from Twin Flame Revolution, they're one of my favorites. I have followed Amanda Lawrence. One of my favorite authors is Kathleen McGowan. She's got some good
Kathleen
books.
McGowan? Yeah, she's the one that I know who she is. She's written those books, yeah. In fact, I remember when I woke up, like in 2012, I don't even know how this happened. It was weird. I was getting downloads about Jesus and just different things. It was a download, and with specifics. And then somehow or another, I went into a meditation state, and I'm looking at this woman, Kathleen McGowan, and a man, and they were in a house, a really nice house, and I think it was in France. And I ended up reaching out to her, and she thought I was nuts. I don't blame her, by the way, because at the time I was, you know how you get that first big download and you can kind of lose your head a little bit and think that you're something you're not. And so I had like an attachment to the memory, which to me I understood later, that's just code. You know, I was like attached to the life or whatever. But it's funny because a few months ago, Morgan scheduled her on the show. And I'm like, oh, I know that lady, right? I remember the whole experience, right? And so she didn't show up. And I was thinking about this the other day. I thought, you know what probably happened? She probably went to my Facebook and went to the messenger and saw these crazy messages I sent her 10 years ago, which was basically all this script, you know, of my memories. But yeah, her books are, and I picked up one of her books. I think I read it online, some of it.
Yeah. I was more so spirit-led back in 2018 to The Expected One, which was the first book I read from her. I went and took my dog for a walk, and I made it, I don't know, maybe like 20 feet, and all of a sudden I hear get in the truck. And I'm kind of arguing with myself, like talking to myself, what do you mean get in the truck? I said, get in the truck. So I got back in the truck. Well, right down the road from there was a Salvation Army, and it said, pull in. And I'm arguing with myself, like, what do you mean pull in? I only got $10 to my name. Pull in. So I pull into Salvation Army. I walk up to the door, and I just said, you know what, Spirit, lead me wherever you want me to go. And it made me take a right as soon as I went into the book section. And then the last book I seen was The Expected One by Kathleen McGowan. And everything got bright, and I picked it up and read it and read every book since. And I'm looking forward to her Anne Boleyn one that's coming out on the 7th.
Oh, wow, interesting. Yeah, she's a formidable force. There's no doubt about it. No doubt at all. All right. So, anybody want to sing a song or break out an instrument or do some poetry or anything is there anything anybody feels like doing? Don't be shy.
I am shy.
Well, you know how it goes. It only takes one. One starts it and the rest start going.
Yes.
I like coming on doing these shows, just mixing it up, doing whatever, playing videos and talking to people. It's fun. I mean, it's as crazy as it sounds. It's therapeutic.
Yes, I would like to have the possibility to do something with you and Ty and Amethyst. Oh, but you and Ty. Sometimes I wished for it, or to do something like
Well, we could do
singing
that.
or.
Well, we're setting it up to where because I'm going to be heading out. I'm going to be going to wherever the universe decides I'm to go as I pursue things. And but anyway, he's already set it up to where, and we've done it a few times actually, where he's actually got the technology to a point, and the sound to a point where somebody can participate like this, and the audience, what the audience hears, there's no, in fact, it's better than being in person. There's a little bit of a what they call ducking on the other person's end, but as long as you listen and stay in beat, it's not hard to do. If I can do it, anybody can do it, because I don't have a beat. I can't keep a beat. But yeah, we'll do that sometime. What have you been getting into, Valerie? What have you been getting into?
Oh, well, lately I've had another extrasensorial event. Well, I call them like that. It's like you have the lucid dream where you act in your dream and you feel like it's real. I mean, it's a dream, but what I call extrasensorial is more like you feel it in the body also, and it is also lucid dreaming where you act the things. So it's like the things happening really to your body. Like if someone is holding my hand, I feel like someone is holding my hand.
Wow.
That, yeah. So
that's something to think about.
Yeah, and a few things. Here and there, I published a few posts on your on the Soulogy group, and that's the kind of thing that come to me, and so I write them and draw a few drawing with that. Although I have no talent whatsoever in drawing, but anyway. Yeah,
I'll have to look those up. I think I saw one.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I think they're too small because on a
Oh
seminar.
Yes, I do remember them. Yeah. I was actually going to write. I was going to write something to you because I used to do a lot of graphics and back in the early Soulogy days, and the message was great. Yeah, it was hard to read. I remember. Yeah.
I have a few like that. Some are story like things that happened to me in the past, I guess. One I've published also was about the cat people, which is probably the librarian, I guess. So there's a few very interesting that I received that I published. I note myself all those communication that I receive, and I have a few. Of them all noted, but not necessarily discussed everywhere.
Well,
yeah,
that's good information. Geraldine, you been having any upticks in experiences or skills, abilities, memories, lucid dreams, just general weirdness?
The lucid dreams and the visions have been coming in pretty strong lately. Probably a couple weeks ago, there was one where I'm pretty sure it was a lucid dream. I was just getting into the twilight, and then I felt like this immense amount of fear. And then I seen these two shadows sitting there. And then I reached my hand out to one of the shadows. It grabbed onto my hand, and the shadow like took a deep breath. And as it was breathing out, it turned into like this little boy crying. And then he grabbed a hand of the other shadow, and she took a deep breath, and it was this little girl crying.
Wow.
And then they both left. Well, the next night, I had this really pissed off, angry spirit come and see me. Again, I was like just getting into that twilight, and I could tell he was angry about what had happened the night before. And I winded up, like, my body never left my bed, but I winded up wrestling him, and I woke up with a few bruises. So
this is the real deal, people.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to Valerie's point and to Lisa Nicole's point, and like your experience, they're all coming into one, right? I mean, you did do what you did, and the physical and the non-physical, what we call the non-physical or dimensional or whatever, you all three of you said the same thing, basically, in my opinion. Like, regardless of what was being cleared or brought into alignment or whatever.
Yeah, the last message I received about was the extrasensorial event was something like, just like she said, I was about to go on I don't know what's the word in English, a key, or is that a word in English? A key? No, it's not.
Say it to Daniel, whatever. You'll say it.
Oh, it's why a key? What is a key in English?
Was?
A key. A key, a duck. Oh, a duck area, I think. Yeah. On the water, you lay that.
A cave?
What?
A cave? A cave,
No,
like a
castle.
No, I mean like
when you're just falling asleep.
Yeah, where you park your boat around.
Oh, okay.
Hafen.
A harbor or a
harbor.
Yeah, an harbor. Yeah.
Pier.
Anyway, I was in a harbor like that. Okay, and I was about to traverse the water. There was a place to walk on it, and I was afraid to do it, but I said I'm doing it anyway. And then I was lifted from higher, and that's when I say I feel it in the body. So it was like I was really lifted and put on the aside. So, and I think the message was you are taken care of. So I see it as my soul came and just okay, you are brave enough to do that thing that you are kind of afraid of, and she just took care of me. Kind of. I think that's the message that was there.
Wow.
Yeah, it almost seems like the fear lasts for, like, the fear is intense at the moment, but it only lasts so long, and then there's an awareness that comes in behind it that shows like that it's not really justified. It's not rationalized. But the thing is you react off the fears all the time, and you don't even realize you're doing it. And I think we're catching it subconsciously now, to where the awareness is now coming in a whole lot quicker.
Right.
Yeah, that's the same, because in that situation, I said I had the fear, but I chose to go in it anyway. That was my feeling at the time. It was like I feel it's gonna happen something if I go there, but I choose to go there anyway. And then I was helped by my soul. So,
yeah.
Do you had once a dream or experience with where you dreamt that you would like to scream or talk, but it is difficult. It is difficult to scream. Once I had a profound. This was insane for me, and I tried. I laid there. I got there, and I knew in the living room here, it was something. I was in the bed, and I tried to scream, but it is with zero voice. And then I woke up, and then I decided to go back. And tried it again or repeatedly, but it was repeatedly difficult for me, impossible for me. It was possible, but very difficult to scream. I tried it and was like, wow, what? and this was the first time I tried it like this consciously, and I learned this, but it is difficult for me to practice or to do it sometimes, to go back to this dimension, or to this place, to this dream, to this dimension, how you would like to call it. And I it is possible for me more and more often to do this. Yeah.
I wonder what that means. I wonder what that means if you can't scream.
Yeah, I know it for me. It is with the voice you have a very much power. It is powerful, and if you're possible to scream, even if this entity is here or there, or in near or in this dimension, then you have the possibility to break through.
Mm.
And it something or it or tries to avoid it. This like you have the power here to when you speak to do so or to do something. I avoid to say influence. You allow to influence something yourself, but yeah, like singing or even with metal or rock has a very powerful energy. And I would say this is the similar to this.
To what?
To when you go to
I
this
see
dimension.
what you mean. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
It's similar. When you then you scream, then you clear, or this entity gets healed or whatever. I love to listen to people who have made these experiences. I'm capable of say what it
The
is.
few times I have had those kind of dreams where it's like you want to cry out loud or whatever, and it doesn't come, and it's for me it's like I'm stuck at a point, and I'm trying, and eventually I will awake with that. It's not a nightmare. It's more like I want to do it, and I can't, and I
Yes.
try, and eventually I awake, and and the day.
Does it feel like something is would like to do this to you, or would like to choke or to shut you down?
I think it's like more like it's probably an energy thing, but like I want to do this point, but I can't arrive to it, and it's like maybe I don't surrender to it or whatever. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. But eventually I will awake, and eventually they come back another day or several months later, and this time it's like, oh yeah, it's done now.
Similar to me.
Geraldine, who's your friend?
Yeah. That is my dog, Khaleesi.
It's a big dog, isn't it?
Nope.
Doggo.
It looks like a big dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the link's not working? Well, we're gonna. Oh, Anne. Oh, yeah, I see.
I don't know.
That's funny. Anne, I'm about to sign off, but you're gonna be on in Anne's coming on. Anne's coming on. I think tomorrow. Where is it? Let me look. Anne's coming on tomorrow. Yeah. And Issa Kem. I can't pronounce his last name. Panarsi. I'm not sure where he's European. A lot of Europeans come to the table. So let's go around one more time. So Geraldine, I'm just curious. Over there where you're at, I know you're a bit isolated, but what's it look like over there wherever you're at? I'm talking about like normality, abnormality, all the stuff that's been thrown at us. Like I'm just kind of curious as to like, are you seeing any changes in the community or people you talk to, or are you seeing the matrix collapsing? Are you seeing, whatever?
I'm seeing polarities, like an increase in polarities where I'm at, to where one opinion wants to have hands up on another opinion, and I don't know if I'm just more aware of it or if they're doing their own thing. But like I said, I've been isolated now. I kind of keep to myself the last 3-4 months. So
yeah, that's a good idea. The last 3 or 4 months. That's probably a good idea for the next 2 months, 2 or 3 months. No, that's what that's what they were saying. The people that were on earlier in the show, like an hour and a half ago, they were talking about the loudness of the difference between what some people might call 3D And 5D.
Yeah, it's like you don't even want to take a step into it. Like you don't want to engage in it. You don't want to I don't want nothing to do with it. I got my own stuff going on over here that I need to deal with.
Exactly. And you can't take it personal. Because taking it personal is actually 3D. Well, I don't mean to make light of it, but like taking it personal, you're still hanging on to it. And I think that's probably been one of the big challenges with these couples. Because the mirrors are so close. But yeah, that's it's funny how that Kali energy burns and builds at the same time. You know, that fire, baptism by fire. So what about you, Valerie? Are you noticing anything?
I'm not really following it. What I'm noticing is winter, there's no more snow. I'm going to be able to go snow skiing somewhere on there. I'm not really following what's happening outside. So.
But I mean, like people that you talk to, people you run into, or you?
Yeah. The people I meet, the people I will chat with, I see more light in them. That's what I would say. Yeah. A lot of people are with I'd say the more and more aware of what's happening. Kind of.
It's got to be a good thing. All right. Yeah. Well, 2 hours, 33 minutes, and 3 seconds. I think I'm about done. But I might keep doing this every day. We'll just see what happens. I'm not going to schedule anything. It's too difficult. But Geraldine, it's good seeing you. It's good seeing you.
You too.
I wish you the best, both of y'all, and everything.
Bye-bye.
Highest and best. Valerie, Daniel, thank y'all for popping in. And everybody else that popped in earlier, y'all take care. Thank you so much.